Hi friends, Itheria here, and though I have not quit Final Fantasy XIV, I haven't really been playing it very often lately, just because it is a lull in the game and really the only thing I have been doing is re-clears of the current Savage tier because some of my group members still need some gear and I'm still trying to get that mount from P8S. So because I'm not spending a lot of time playing 14, I've been playing other games, and honestly, I've been playing a lot of Genshin Impact lately, which kind of surprises me because I've always liked Genshin, but I've always been a very casual Genshin player. The kind of player who will log in for a weekend and then not log in again for a couple of months. But I was recently playing Genshin on my stream. I stream on Twitch occasionally, so be sure to check me out on there. Of course, I'm just at Itheria over there as well. But anyway, I was streaming Genshin and there was someone who came in who seemed interested in the game but hadn't played it, didn't really know anything about it, and they were asking different questions. And one of the things they asked was was it possible or is it possible to play Genshin Impact as a free-to-play player? So I just want to talk about my experience as a free-to-play player and kind of answer that question because I actually have not spent a single dime on Genshin Impact. I have not spent any money. And I also haven't been gifted anything. Nobody has given me money to spend. I don't know how gifting works in Genshin, if you can actually gift people things to buy prima gems, but I haven't gotten anything. I haven't spent a single penny. No one else has spent a penny on me. So I am 100% free to play player. So I want to talk about is it fun, etc, etc. So first of all, I said I usually would only play once every few weekends, and I think there's a few reasons for that because I feel like I should clear the air on that. So for me, I think mostly I was still kind of in the depths of Final Fantasy XIV, so I didn't often have a reason to play Genshin because I was just busy doing things that I wanted to do in 14, but sometimes I would get this Genshin itch, and I would play it for literally an entire weekend. I would spend all of my free hours just playing it. And so what I want to talk about what I like and dislike about Genshin, as well as kind of what the pay-to-win aspects are and what you can expect as a free-to-play player. So let's actually start with what the pay-to-win aspects are, because I think it would be wrong to say that Genshin is not a pay-to-win game, but it's also wrong to say that you can't enjoy the game as a free-to-play player. So in terms of pay-to-win, basically, the way Genshin works is it's a gacha game, so every 20 days they have a new character banner and you can wish on that character and try to get them. And if you are free to play, what happens is basically that even if you can get a really good character, which I have some really good 5-star characters, you cannot upgrade them as much as a pay-to-win player could or would, because if you cannot continuously pull that character from the banner, you can't upgrade things like their constellation because you actually need to pull the character more than once to get the items that you need to upgrade their constellation. So you would really only be able to play with the base character. I think another issue as a free-to-play player, at least that I've had, is that if you're doing some of the, I guess, harder content, I haven't really done a lot of the Spiral Abyss, but I was kind of checking it out a little bit for this video, and because it was hey, if you clear this, you can get 2,000 primogems, and I was oh my god, what? So I was looking into that, and I found that at one point, you are asked to put together 2 teams, and as a free-to-play player, I really only have one good team that I've put all of my resources into. So I imagine if you were pay to win, it'd be easier to get certain resources because you'd just be buying them with money, and be easier to build 2 teams for stuff like that. But outside of that, I really feel there's still a fair amount to do as a free-to-play player, and you can still succeed in pretty much all of the aspects of the game. So for me, what I like to do as a free-to-play player, I'm really into the world exploration. I think it's really fun when I see a shiny chest and I know I have to kill all the mobs around to get it, or figuring out different puzzles to get the chest. I just think that the open world of this game is actually pretty engaging and is just enjoyable to run around and see what you can find, see what puzzles you can do, see what treasure you can get. Now, of course, with that again, as a free-to-play player, you might take longer to kill stuff. Whether you're trying to kill mobs to get a treasure chest, or you're trying to kill some of the bosses in order to upgrade your character's weapons or ascend them so you can level them up. That's the stuff that I feel like you can still do it, you can still succeed at it, but it might take you a little bit longer because you might not have the perfect party composition. I think the thing with free-to-play players is it's going to be a lot harder to do min-maxing because once again, you're not paying money to pull the exact characters that you need, so you're kind of just saving up your primogems, and even if you have like a team in mind, you might have to wait months before you could get that perfect team because you have to wait for the character to get on the banner, and then you have to hope that with the limited primogems that you have from doing your, dailies, weeklies, etc., that you're able to actually pull them. So I guess that's kind of another thing with free to play. But my current team is Zhao, Zhangling, Qiqi, and Fischl, and I get along really well with them. I get by really well with them. Zhao is really, really powerful, so I've really focused on beefing him up and putting more of my resources into him and letting him do the damage dealing, where I kind of just let the other characters play on the field for the elemental effects, and it works really well, and I'm able to kill stuff. I actually have a crap load of characters, but those are the ones that I use the most often because I just feel like that team composition works really well for me. Another thing I really like to do in the game is actually the story, and I kind of have like a little note here, but first let me talk about what I do like about the story. So for me, I really enjoyed the Sumeru story. Not every story is going to be something that I enjoy. Like, it's really kind of hit or miss for me. Like, some of it I just don't care about, and I'm like, I wish I could skip the cutscenes. But the Sumeru questline was what got me playing again because the story was just so intriguing. I feel like the way that they wrote it was really well done because it kind of had this essence of mystery to it, where the whole time that you're watching it, you're kind of like trying to figure out what's going on. And that happens through like several aspects of the story. And I don't want to spoil anything in case people haven't gotten there yet, but I found that part of the story really engaging. Now, I will say that for the story, like I said, I don't like all of it, but my problem with the story is like the overarching story about Lumine and Ether, because while I like the story and I'm interested and intrigued to see like what's happening, where they're from, but my problem is that I don't often play enough to like continue that story. So I end up having the story in a really like convoluted or sporadic manner, and I feel like I basically forget all the details, and part of that's a me problem because I'm a casual player, but I think part of it is also that it feels like you can't get more of that story without like leveling up and ranking up. And then there's also so many like little side stories whenever they have like a new character that they introduce or an event going on. So sometimes all these storylines can get kind of twisted or you get distracted moving from one to another. But overall, I would say that if you enjoy story-based games, then you would like this game because there are so many different stories to explore. So you're bound to find one that you like. So overall, I'm honestly a pretty big fan of Genshin Impact. I feel like it's a really fun game to play. I like the way that the combat works. I enjoy exploring the open world, and some of the story is really riveting for me. Obviously, it has its flaws. If you are a free-to-play player, then you're not gonna have an easy time min-maxing. So if that's something that you want to do, again, it's not completely impossible, but it takes a lot more time from what I understand. I'm such a casual player that I just don't care about that stuff. Like, sometimes I pull characters just because they're pretty, not because they are actually useful to me or anything of that sort. And even when it comes to like my artifacts and things like that and my weapons, I don't even try. I don't even look up what the best thing is. I don't care. I just see like how many stars it has on it and if it has like a useful skill or like a useful stat, I guess I should say, on it, and then I'll like level it up and use it. But yeah, I'm definitely far from a min-max. I'm sure some people would cringe at the way I play, but it's fun for me and I think that's what matters. So that's really my main point with this, is that you can have fun with this game, but you may have to temper your expectations as a free-to-play player if you don't plan to spend any money at all. And if you like playing it casually, I think you're definitely going to have a lot of fun. But if you're usually the type of person that min-maxes and you want to be the most powerful and you want to have the strongest team and you want to be able to level them up to the max in terms of their talents and especially their constellations, then you just might not be able to do that. So I think that's kind of what you can expect as a free-to-play player from Genshin. So yeah, I think I will stop talking Here, I think you guys can understand that I like the game and have a lot of fun with it, but I do understand that it's not for everyone. Especially, I understand people do get frustrated with the gacha aspect of it because it is kind of pay to win, and that's just the truth of it. But I think it's cool that you can still have fun even if you don't pay anything. I think it's nice that the game is both. Anyway, please leave a sacrifice for Lord Algorithm in the form of a like, comment, share, or subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye!
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why